So as liberals continue to tell us that democracy is on the ballot, here is their formula for saving democracy. Put Trump in jail, get rid of MAGA, end the Electoral College, stack the Supreme Court, ban voter ID as racist, and censor free speech. That's the way you save democracy.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth. Somebody to the top of the line!
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. Welcome to the Afternoon Drive. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That will give you notification of my rants, my ravings, and my undeniably flawless reasonings. Please like and share this video. That's the way that we get the word out that we're here. Thank you so much for watching the Afternoon Drive. So as the Democrats pulled off the ultimate coup and literally took out their own guy, got rid of Joe Biden, you know, the one that they rigged a primary so that he would win the primary over Bernie Sanders back in 2020, and then, shall we say, got creative in the 2020 election laws and its application for endless mail-in balloting, etc., etc., etc. So they get the guy, the puppet they want, the resident of the United States. They have another primary. They make sure that RFK is excluded. They make sure that any other viable option to Joe Biden is, basically squeezed out. He does no debates with any of those seeking the Democratic nomination, and literally, he runs away with the Democratic nomination through a voting process. And then he has a bad debate performance, and they tell us what most of us have known for the last 4 years. He's gone. Mentally, cognitive, not there. Gone. They're in trouble. They're hemorrhaging votes. Everything they threw at Donald Trump didn't work. He's still standing. The court cases didn't end him, and it didn't erode the American support for him. It only grew. Even keeping him locked down in New York City on trial, he just simply started having events around New York City, and people in New York City fell in love again with Donald Trump. So Joe had to go. And in steps Kamala thinks she's a Hottie Harris, and we have Chuck E. Cheese Schumer telling us that there was a groundwell of support for her, and now she is the nominee.
Vice President Harris has done a truly impressive job securing the majority of delegates needed to win the Democratic Party's nomination to be our next president of the United States. The vast majority of my senators quickly and enthusiastically endorsed her. So now that the process is played out, from the grassroots bottom up, we are here today to throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm clapping. You don't have to.
What groundwell support? Nobody voted for her, literally. When she ran for president in 2020, she got out before the Iowa caucuses because she had accumulated literally zero support. She was polling at less than 1% nationwide, and she was only polling at 3% in her home state of California. And now she is all of a sudden the it girl, the most popular woman on the planet, and America can't wait to go to the polls and elect her. This is what all the pollsters are now telling us. And it's interesting how it literally flipped on a dime. What's interesting is that James Carville, the raging Cajun from Louisiana, the mastermind behind the Bill Clinton presidency, or I should say, getting the backwoods Arkansas governor into the White House. I mean, Carville had it. It's the economy, stupid. And he hung that over George Bush, and Bush went down in flames, and Bill Clinton skyrocketed into the United States presidency and the White House. Managed to get through an impeachment inquiry of his own, survived, and had his 8-year tour of duty. And a lot of that has to do with James Carville. James Carville, though not my brand of politics, is so brilliant he's stupid. He was warning the Democrats for a year. Got to get Biden out of there. Got to dump Biden, dump him. He was the one screaming it to the New York Times and anybody else that would listen. And he was asked by Donnie Deutsch, why are the Democrats losing so many groups that they could count on to Donald Trump? We're losing black males. We're losing the entire Hispanic base. Why are we losing to Donald Trump? And James Carville, back in June of this year, had an epiphany, a moment of real insight.
What's happened, I've said this before, part of it is a male problem. We have a huge male problem.
Yes, sir.
We have a huge male problem all across the board, but particularly, I hate this term, but I'll use it, communities of color, like as if all people that are not white are the same. It's stupid. And I do think, and people got a little upset with me when I told Maureen, New York Times, but I think Democratic culture has too many preachy females. It's too much. Don't eat hamburgers. Don't watch football. All right, wear condom. Like, man, leave me alone. You okay? I got a life to lead. Guy works at a tire repair shop in suburban Atlanta. Working 50 hours a week. Making $16.50 an hour, and he wants to watch the football game. He wants to smoke dope and drink beer, and then everybody's telling him he's slothful, and they reject it. And I just think some of it is cosmopolitan condensation, if you will. Like you need to lead the kind of life we lead, not the kind of life you lead. And it pisses people off.
Well, that's across the board. That's black, white. That's a big part of Trump. That's a big part of Trump.
It's Hispanic. We're going to lose Hispanic males.
Yeah.
We're going to lose them.
And that's on that male-female issue. That's on that. I mean, it very much they want to see the strong, this is a generalization, but strong, dominant male in a household.
I think Democratic culture has too many preachy females.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some Republicans
really don't
have
know.
said?
I mean, I really don't know. Could be. There are some.
Is Kamala Harris a DEI? Yes. I'm black, I'm telling you that. She's a DI.
Hey, if y'all think this was racist, I'm racist.
I've noticed when I was scrolling through the Twitter, it's all white journalists calling him racist, saying that black people should be offended. I'm tired of white people. I'm tired of these white liberals telling me how to feel. I'm sick of it. I do not want you to tell me how to think, how to feel. Don't tell me shit.
My college coach just sounded worse than this. This some like, brother. It sounds like your grandpa talking to you at this point.
I think we're just at the point, with all these Gen Z people and everything.
They just too soft.
It's too soft. And people would rather hear what makes them feel good than to hear the truth.
I think Democratic culture has too many preachy females.
Just vote for Kamala.
What exactly do you know about Kamala Harris?
Boom, there it is, preachy women with a woke agenda and not necessarily policy that affects the real life. And the policies they do enact make the real life harder. Because what are the accomplishments of the Biden-Harris administration before they all get sent down the wormhole into a vacuum and social media platforms start telling us when we point out their record, no, that's disinformation. You've been fact-checked, that's wrong. Those are lies and Republican talking points. She was not the border czar. Yes, she was. This is not the worst inflation we've had since Jimmy Carter. Yes, it is. People can't afford to live. We have skyrocketing, out of control personal debt because people are using credit cards to buy groceries. People aren't able to make their regular payments, and they're working. They're working because they can get a job. They can't make any money. They can't get ahead because inflation is eating it all up, and especially at the gas pump. This is Biden's Build Back Better and his co-captain, Kamala Harris, who vacillates back and forth between being Indian and black. And even Don Lemon made the argument, look, she is a woman of color, but she's not black. Boom! And this woman who laughs and cackles, and the laugh is not the thing that we are making fun of. Well, it is kind of. But it's the inappropriate laugh. The laughter that she had in explaining when she was a prosecutor in California that she put the parents of truant students in jail. Laughed at that. Thought that was funny. Really? Parents many times have to be at work before the kids report to school. And a lot of times those parents are assuming that once they've got their kid up and starting the process of getting ready for school, that when they leave to go to work, that the kid is going to walk out of the house, lock the door behind him, and get on the school bus or walk or whatever they got to do, but they're going to get to school. But Kamala thought it was funny to put them in jail. Kamala made sure that a guy on death row stayed there on evidence she concealed. And finally, a judge ordered her to release it literally 4 hours before he was to be put to death. She was responsible for thousands being in jail in California on drug-related charges, although she went on Charlemagne the Not God with the Breakfast Club and laughed about how she used to smoke pot in college. But she had all these people in prison in California on pot charges, and most of them were there because they were using a faulty lab that was sending back false positives, kind of like Rovid. She thought that was funny. You do understand that this woman is not about defund the police. She will enact the most radical authoritarianism, the likes of which you have never seen. She's preachy. Of course, she keeps flipping and flopping on policies now. She's going to try to blame the border on Trump because he wouldn't let the Republicans sign the border deal. You mean the border deal that took the illegals coming in now and only cut it in half? Didn't stop it, it just cut it in half. And even that would be with a wink and a nod. Because the Democrat plan is to use the illegals to vote. That's why they don't want voter ID. Funny. Got to have voter ID to get on you got to have proper ID to get on a plane. Got to have proper ID to operate a car. So we're supposed to assume that black people don't fly or drive because, getting photographed ID, that's racist. So every black person I see driving a car is doing so without a license? How insulting is that? And I think the black population, by and large, is tired of being preached to and lectured to by liberal white people and by women in general. I'm sorry if you don't like that, and it kind of rubs everybody wrong in this 21st century. Look, I had a mom who was a businesswoman. She was management, strong, decisive. The issue is not strong women. The issue is weak men. And black and Hispanic men, they're very traditional oriented. And they want to be in control. They want to be respected, valued, and they don't want to be preached at that everything that they like to do. And Carville hit it on the head. Guy goes home after, working his 40, 50-hour work week. He wants to eat pizza, put his feet up, and watch a ball game. Leave him alone. You think Kamala Harris is going to leave him alone? No. She's on record as saying, let's get rid of plastic straws. Have you used these cardboard straws? There's a reason when I was a kid, we stopped using those cardboard wax-coated straws. They don't suck, literally. They fall apart. You know why everybody switched to plastic straws? Shazam, Batman, they work. So you think we had a nanny state under Joe Biden. I promise you, you ain't seen nothing with what Kamala's got cooked up. And I promise you, the reason the polls have so flipped and been manipulated and the reason the media is pushing her is the deep state has given 2 thumbs up on her. And I'm talking about Republican and Democrat deep staters, because she will let them fund whatever wars and conflicts they want to have. She wants to title a president. She wants to walk into the room and have the biggest male appendage in the room and be treated like King Kamala. She is Hillary Clinton, the redo. She is Barack Obama incarnate as Obamala. She is going to nag and preach and just drive us into the ground under authoritarianism and destroy what's left of this economy. James, you answered your own question. Back in the days of Clinton v. Bush, it's the economy, stupid. You claim that this is the best economy for black people? Are you kidding me? You talked to any black people lately? Been in any black neighborhoods? I have. I'm in Macon, Georgia. I talk to people all the time. And I mean real people, not political pundits, not people that, have an agenda as far as they work for the Republicans or work for the Democrats. I just talk to people, talk to my waitresses, talk to people. Talk to people I'm in line with at the grocery store. And by and large, everybody is complaining about the same things. Border, the opioid epidemic, i.e. fentanyl coming across the border, and the economy, stupid. And your answer is to now be on board there, Jimmy, for Team Kamala, a preachy woke woman that you've been warning the Democrat Party for a couple of years. That's why you're losing the working vote.
I think Democratic culture has too many preachy females.